Same reason they go to your Instagram, same reason they watch your reels or watch your stories or whatever it is. You're showing them your top and bottom,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and if they can get access to that, they're going to get access to that. But that they
Mhm.
don't want relationships with that. Welcome to Acts 2 and 42. All right, guys, welcome back to Acts 2 and 42. Today we have a reaction to a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. TikTok woman
Mhm.
says that men don't want to date women. They're not
Mm.
interested in relationships. So we're going to play a clip, but we got the Rebel G in here. What's going on, Rebel?
What's going on? You know who I be, Rebel G, connecting dots, making it do what it do, because I do what it does. It's like,
Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Well, this was interesting. I would think we came across
mm,
this, but it's interesting. And I want to share it at least from our perspective. I don't want to play all of Tim's reaction. I'll link it below. But let's go ahead and get it.
mm.
Do you think men want relationships, Shrey?
I don't know. I hear both sides.
Okay.
I hear sometimes they say they're done with it, and then another time they say, there's some of us out here that do want it, but the girls don't want it. So I don't know.
Hmm. Okay.
Mm.
Might want to unmute it, huh?
Oh boy, we got a response to a response video in the
To a
third person. I'm
response.
not responding to the person who made the video,
Mm.
but I saw this video. You got this TikTok from @ValueMen. I'm not super familiar with @ValueMen, but shout out. It's this. It starts with this woman saying, "I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships," and then a woman being like, "Dude, women are acting like men. Men don't want to be in relationships with men. So of course, men are only
Great
using
ones.
you for sex. Because if they, I should play the video and then I'll talk about
This
modern dating
this
and
is
all this stuff
everything.
and
This is everything from the last stream of femininity,
Right.
and it's like, no, they'll use you for sex. Yeah, Christian, whatever. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. This is all from a Christian perspective, right? Biblical channel and stuff. But yes, you're getting their attention for sexual relations.
Right.
No one's saying you won't be able to do that. So, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
whatever. But let's play this. I think this one's pretty funny.
Men don't actually want relationships.
Well, let me start it over.
Men don't actually want relationships.
You wanted equality, and now you're complaining that they don't want to be in a relationship with you. Equality also means the same. And
Yeah.
since these men are not gay, why would they want to be in a relationship with another man? So you got your equality, and now they don't want to be in a relationship with you because you bring nothing to the table. You're basically men. They use you for one thing now. Of course they do, because that's what makes them not gay. But everything else, you're just like a guy. So they don't want to be in a relationship with a guy, otherwise they would be gay. And since they're not, they don't want to be in a relationship with you. You're not respectful, you don't give them peace. Maybe try being kind and sweet and nice, and don't bring drama into their lives. And don't try to change them, accept them for who they are and believe in them. And then they'll want to be in a relationship with you.
She hit all the bullet points.
It's not the fact that they don't want to be in relationships, they just don't want to be in a relationship with
Man.
you.
Yep.
There's a difference.
Yep.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
They'll still sleep
I like
with
when she's like, if
Yeah, they will.
men don't want to be.
And they'll sleep with other people, but they don't want a committed relationship with you if you're all those things, right?
I think that they could still pull them though. So in the woman's mind, it's just like, yeah, but I'm still getting them. No, men still
Right.
want me. Like men still like me. They be in my DMs. Yeah, they do. But it's not like they all on you to try to wife you. They on you
Right.
to try to sleep with you and then move on to the next one.
I mean, in
And
the
if
last
men are
stream,
dogs, why do you keep feeding them?
yeah, yeah. In the last stream, we talked about that a little bit, and I was saying, like, why do men go to strippers? Whether it's prawn strippers or workers, you know what I mean? Why do you go to that? Is it to marry them? No, it's to get that and leave. That's it.
Right.
Like they don't normal men don't
Yeah.
want to marry strippers. They go
Right.
for the show. They go to see. Same reason they go to your Instagram. Same reason they watch your reels or watch your stories or whatever it is. They want to see you're showing them your top and bottom. And if they can get access to that, they're going to get access to that. But that they don't want relationships with that. We talked about Lil Kim, and through the years and stuff. But
Yeah.
like her from the album, or a modern scenario, I don't know, Megan the Stallion or whatever, comparable figures or whatever,
Yeah.
or a non-rapper woman who's showing off their body and stuff. Yeah, men
Right.
want that body, but they don't want that person. It's two different things.
Right.
And especially if it
Right.
comes with, she hit the checklist. You don't even have to do like, what
Yeah.
do I have to do to get a man? Go play that woman's thing. See that checklist.
Yeah.
Do the do's, don't do the don'ts.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Period.
Be friendly, be kind, be respectful,
Feminine.
feminine.
Yep.
Yeah. So when
Which I
women
think-
come to when they be like, well, I make this much money, like, or I have this job, I have this degree, I make this much money. Let me make this very clear. Men don't care. Like, they don't care about your money. They don't care about your job. They don't care about how much you make. They don't care about your degrees because they don't need it. Like, and I don't know how to make that clear. So
We may not have it. It's not to say that we have $100
Yeah.
grand a year income, but we're not looking for that from a spouse, from a partner, from a relationship.
Right.
That's what you're looking for from us. We're not looking for a
Yeah.
man like you are. So you're advertising what women are shopping for to get a man. They're
Yeah.
buying those attributes. We're not buying that from the market.
Right.
We're buying friendly,
Right.
smiles, good conversation, and obviously, beauty and attractiveness. But yes, that's good. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to accept? Because I think in 2019, I think people didn't know. But 2021, 2021, 2022, like this became more prominent of a discussion. Why is it rejected?
I think
That men don't want money and degrees.
there's a part of me that makes me think it's because it's what we want and we don't care really what you want. You should want what we want. Like, and I don't know how to say that in a nice way. I think a certain income is valuable. Why don't you think a certain income is valuable? I think that being an entrepreneur is something to aspire for, which is why they'll tell you, dudes, you better listen up. They will tell you things like, oh, I don't care if if he's only making $40,000, $35,000.
As long as he wants to build. Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
they don't accept you for who you are.
They don't accept
They're
you
not
as
going
you
to
are.
accept you for
Right.
who you are. You could be totally fine out there flipping burgers, and it's enough to pay the rent and insurance and health insurance. I don't know. You could be the manager at McDonald's and make just enough, and you're happy with your job. You like your job, and you are comfortable with your income. And a woman will date you, just like a man will sleep with you for the woman. But that man is not going to wife you, and that woman has plans on changing you
Yep.
because it's not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So we keep missing each other.
Didn't we've talked before that like what we think are good gift ideas, even just giving gifts to your significant other.
Yeah.
Men give gifts that they think are good gifts that they would want. Women give gifts that they think men ought to want. So we always gift
Yeah. Yeah.
what we think people ought to want instead of actually thinking what do they want though. You know what I mean? Like what do women want? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
And you could hear their inner thoughts and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like I should think of what does she get me that I don't really like, but it's nice and she's trying to do something nice for me. Well, that tells me what she thinks is a nice gift. And if a man gets you a vacuum, I definitely didn't do that, by the way, But if he gets you a vacuum, it's not because he thinks you're a maid he thinks it's because it will make your life easier to have something better that works. Something that, whatever the case, bad example, but it's a real one.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So anyway, let's see. Now Tim points out that it's kind of a joke. Like obviously he's not saying he's not a gay man, that whole thing. He's not a gay man. He's not looking for a man, but it's saying I'm not looking for what men bring to the table, right? Namely what women look for from men. Women look for those traits from men. And now you're bringing those traits thinking, I want that. I don't want a man. That's what you want,
Yeah.
but he makes a good point. It was kind of humor in that, but, let's jump back. Oh, sorry about that.
Be in a relationship with men because they're not gay. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's a joke. But in all seriousness, there's an interesting point to dig out there and present in literal terms. Men, successful men, men in general, but not all men. I'm not speaking for everybody. But
I hate that
I
has
hope
to be said. No
women
one ever
understand
speaks
this. I've
for
talked about
everyone.
this in numerous segments,
Yeah.
going back over the years, and feminists always get really angry.
Well, I know
There's a
one
story from the New
person-
York Post, and it was a woman saying that she was struggling to find a man to date her who made the same amount of money that she did. And the New York Post said, women in their 30s who have careers are struggling to date men in their same income bracket. And I'm like, you gotta think about the kind of man who would date a woman who makes, let's say, $70K a year and she's 34. I am not intending to insult women in any way by bringing this up. But based on what was said by this woman at Value Men, I think there's, something interesting to point out. And I know I've done it before, but let's do another segment on it. Let's say you're a 34-year-old guy and you're broke. You make no money. And then along comes a 34-year-old woman, kind of attractive, has a job. Maybe you want to date her. And you're like, well, look, she's got a place. I'm struggling here. Does the woman want to date you? Mm-hmm. Well, there's a tendency, and I'm not saying all people, calm down. No, why would she? She's working really hard. Here's a guy who's not successful. And it's like, what's attractive about that?
That's something that most people don't want to think. Like the person you want, do they want you or do they want who you are characteristics wise or appearance? Do they want you? Are those people looking for someone like you? You're looking for them.
Right.
You want them, but do they want you? Or what do they want? Well, they ought to want me. Like, okay. Yeah. See how that works. And people run their businesses like that too. Entrepreneurs, small business, they run their business like people ought to want my product instead of what product do they want and then fulfilling that need. So
she wants to find a guy who makes the same amount of money as her. But this means the woman brings nothing to the table for the man. The man already has money. He already makes money. He's already got an apartment. He's looking for a wife, someone who can fill the gap in his life, that what's missing. Women think that you can be equal. I shouldn't say women. That's not fair. Feminists, because clearly this woman doesn't. Many feminists don't. That you can come to a man and say, I offer you what you already have. Let's start a relationship. And the man says, a relationship, look, it can be based on love, in which case, people will share careers and lives and get along. I'm not saying everybody. But for a lot of guys, they're thinking, look, I don't need a breadwinner. I make money. I pay my rent. I want to buy a house.
Even if we're broke. We don't want, like, Sheree, I don't want you because I need a breadwinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not why I want you. I want you because of your companionship. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not looking for that, but it's also what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking for a commitment. I'm looking for a relationship. Men are looking for relationships, by the way. Most men want children, want family. Women don't want that in the Western world. So that's why they don't want the type of relationship that woman can give them. That's the thing. The woman won't give them the relationship they actually want. They want a wife and a family. They want their spouse to be a wife and a mother. And most women don't want to do that now.
Yeah, a lot of women want lifestyle and status now.
Yeah. They want to travel the world with a rich guy. And the guy that's rich that could do that doesn't want to spend his time doing that.
He's working to make those six figures. He doesn't have time for that.
Yeah. We talk about this a lot, but we're driven by the work a lot of times. Like we work to work. Like we want to do this. I want to build that. I want to accomplish this. And you guys often want to smell the roses. We don't want to spend time smelling roses that much. And you guys are like, well, what's good in having a good job or doing this if you're not going to enjoy it once in a while? That's true. You guys just like doing it way more than we do, right? So you want to celebrate everything, right? Every event in our life is time to celebrate.
I do. I love celebrating. And I love traveling and eating things that are foreign. Yeah, I love all that stuff.
Right.
The crazy thing is, too, like with the woman that is seeking out a man like that, you would be much happier with a man that made 35, 40 grand a year and was able to make time with you to go to France or
and you already have the bag.
Africa. Yeah.
You don't need his money. So what does it matter?
Actually be happier. And you know what? He'd probably be faithful too. He would most likely be more faithful than that guy that's making six figures and can get any woman he wants. He can get any woman he wants. And he married you, but you know what? He married you and you know why you married him. And there's 100+ women that want him too for the same reasons why you wanted him.
Yep. It may not be right. You may think, well, that's not right. I'm going to find one that's loyal or this, that, and the other. Well, that's good. You know, unicorns exist somewhere in somebody's imagination, but you know, you prove the point, right? Sorry. You know, you prove the point because when you made more money, what did you think? You thought you got more options. You thought I get what I want now because I have more money. Now it made you more demanding and make you say, oh, I deserve or I want this. Well, that's the same thing the man's doing. That's the same thing the man with that money is thinking, just like you, I have this money. I can do what I want. I can have who I want. I can go, you know. So anyway, but I don't know. I don't want to play the whole clip. It's Tim's video. Go share it. He goes in depth more and more and more. But I just wanted to share that highlight, that little bit, and just the fact that it's not men aren't walking away. You know, mitgau. You know, men going their own way. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong, but they're not doing that because they don't want women. They're doing it because women, in their estimation, have become impossible and don't want to be wives. So I can't please them. They don't want me, or they want this, that, and the other, right? I want this. So I don't want that. I don't want the relationship that's being offered to me.
Right.
Rather not have it.
I wish we could find that study. And I know I was watching it on the news, but it was like a study of what men wanted from a woman and what women wanted from a man.
Oh my God.
And the men basically wanted three things. It was fit, it was friendly, and it was God darn it, man. I could never remember that last one. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I can't remember. Was it
fit,
what they would
friendly.
accept?
Yeah. Like if you could, they're fine with 80%. They don't need 100%. And the women would not settle for less. They would not settle for less. And then there was like 300 things that they wanted in a man. And the men was like boiled down to like 3.
Yeah.
But it was like 300, almost 300 things the women wanted out of a man. I was like, oh my God.
And if we got 80% of them, we were ecstatic. Like the men were ecstatic if they were told, well, what if she's 80% of what you want? That was just like, man, I'm gravy. Where do I sign up? That's it.
Right.
And women would not accept 80% of their criteria.
They wouldn't.
So it's like, man, so how do you work with that? You know what I mean? Like whether it's a partnership, take men and women out of it, take relationships out of it, but how do you work with it, whether it's a partnership or just food or any other scenario where someone's criteria is so high, it's unmanageable and they won't accept it if the food's slightly below temperature, but it's the right quality of meat, or it's the, you know what I mean? It's like when you're that picky, no one wants to cook for you, you know?
And no matter what relationship you get into, you're not going to be happy, which means you're not going to make that other person happy because you're not happy. And it's just going to be a miserable relationship, man, with every person you get involved with.
Yeah.
Because no one's 100%.
That's why those relationships that they do attempt where he's saying, look, I don't want a man. They're bringing the same thing I'm bringing, which is the good job and everything. But we're both playing that role. Like we're both, so there's, like you said, I'm not interested in men. Now we're both playing the same role, but we're competing for that role. And there's always an imbalance. The imbalance always affects the relationship. Well, most of the time affects the relationship. Whether it's the man's insecurity or the woman's dominance over him because she feels entitled because she's making more, whatever it is it doesn't tend to be healthy, with exception. But anyway, I don't want this to be a real long one. I thought that was just interesting to share. We'll link the video. Any final words before we wrap up? I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Don't ask me for final words.
Think about it, though.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about that, ladies. You know, I'd rather have 80% than nothing.